Hi, my name is Sarafina McKeown, and this is my 2012 Zella Award audition. I'll be performing a monologue by Marjorie Benton Cook called By Faith Alone. Is that you, Helen? Oh, come in. You must excuse me for seeing you up here, but this is my day for treatment, and I don't get up until the afternoon. Oh, didn't you know? I'm taking a course with Omar Kanandi, the famous Hindu priest. You've never heard of him? Oh, my dear, he is too wonderful. Do you know what an invalid I've been for years? I've had no sympathy in my suffering. Fred thinks it's all nonsense, says I'm a hypochondriac and all, but Omar Kanandi says that my condition has been simply pitiful. He's so sympathetic, Helen. He wears a long red robe and a turban, and the queerest rings, and his eyes are the most soulful things. Well, it's hard to tell you just what he does. He'll sit down beside me and hold my hands and look into my eyes and talk to me in his soft, oriental voice. He says he is the medium of infinite strength and power and that he transmits it to me. He thinks in time I'll be able to draw on this power myself without him. He says that I'm so highly strung that the winds of evil play on me, and that my chronic indigestion is simply a wind of evil and I must learn to harden myself against it. I told him I didn't care so much about the indigestion itself, but it was ruining my complexion. He told me once I got myself up in the harmony with the infinite that my skin would be like a rose leaf. So you can see for yourself that the whole thing is worthwhile. Oh, heavens, no, it isn't like some kind of mind cure or Christian Science or any of those intangible things. No, this is very practical. And I find that my power upon others is growing, just as he said it would. Oh, the other day, Fred came home and he was just worn out, and I was determined to try the cure on him. So I made him lie down, and I held his hands, and I looked at him, and I spoke very softly. And it was in no time at all, Helen, until he was sleeping like a child. What I love about this system is that it's so practical. I was telling Omar Kanandi about how I was worrying about my bridge debts and that I couldn't tell Fred about it. And he put himself in harmony and he worked up the most wonderful scheme. He told me that I should get up a sort of trust and make up a pool, every woman in the club putting in $500, and as long as we won, each woman could put 10% of their winnings back into the pool, and if we lost, well, the pool would stand for it up to a certain limit. I was treasurer, and I made Omar Kanandi take $500 just for thinking up the scheme. He didn't want to at all, but he did finally to help his cause. Things were going splendidly for about a week, and then it ended in the awfulest row. Women were accusing each other of not paying their 10%, and of overdrawing in the pool, and they all demanded their money back, and I just couldn't get it straightened out. I'm out heaven only knows how much. Some of the men heard about it, and you ought to have seen Fred lecture me. I repeated a lot of things that he had said to me himself about benefits of trust, but he said it was all rot. I told him I thought so at first, but I was so used to taking his word as law that I went right ahead and did it. Oh, I never dare tell him how much I'm out. I just told him we'll call it legitimate speculation and charge it up to profit and loss, which is his favorite excuse when he's on the wrong end of a market. Oh, mercy, no, I would never tell him Omar Kanandi had anything to do with it. Fred says he's a fraud and all sorts of things. Omar says Fred is not attuned to the higher chords of ethereality, so he lives in error and darkness. Helen, you really ought to have him come see you. He would do wonders for you. It's only $500 for the course, and it's nothing when you think what he does for you. Thank you.